Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming. Oh, let me start again because that was a failure. I have a blocked ear, so I feel like I'm shouting, but I don't know if I'm shouting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on the mummy series. So I just want to say before I start, thank you for all the new amazing subscribers. I am so thankful to have some new subscribers to my channel, and I'm nearly at 200, everyone. So that is the aim, that is the goal, to get to 200 and obviously above. So thank you for all that has subscribed, liked, commented, shared. I really do appreciate it. It motivates me to make more content. So yes, so let's get into today's video. I am going to be speaking about C-sections. Yes, C-sections. So it was actually C-section awareness month in April. I actually wanted to make a video then, but just time, energy, I just had my son in January. There was a lot going on. I have always wanted to make this video. Not gonna lie as well, fear has kind of been stopping me, but I said to myself, where is that coming from? And that is just coming from maybe just feeling a bit scared or just talking about this subject. Yeah, so I'm being so very vulnerable right now, and I'm being honest, and I'm sharing my experience with a C-section. So, and I wanted to make this as well to just inspire and help any other people that feel like, I don't know, C-sections I feel are not talked about enough. They are spoken about, but I feel like they need to be spoken about enough. So yeah, so I'm here to just talk about my experience, some tips, a short brief, what happened to me, and just be honest and real with you all. So I hope you all enjoy the video, and let's get into it. I had an emergency C-section with my son. Yes, so I was in labor for 2 days. It was the longest 2 days of life. My waters broke on the Thursday. So I had my son on Saturday, early hours of the morning. So yeah, my waters broke on Thursday, and yeah, it was all good. I was at home. My mother-in-law was here, my partner's mum was here with me, so I had someone, you know, with me at home. My son's due date was actually the 13th of January. He came on the 18th of January. So that week, just preparing for it, I definitely felt Braxton Hicks. So Braxton Hicks and contractions are two different things, but they're very similar. So contractions are also obviously like forceful, painful contractions, and Braxton Hicks they're like contractions, but they're movements that you get. I know they get more intense before the baby comes. You can get them throughout pregnancy, but for me, the last few days of pregnancy, I was getting them from the 13th. And I remember that day I had a midwife appointment, and I remember we went out to the shops, me and my partner, and I was literally in the shop like holding my belly. It was just so painful. So I knew baby was coming like any day now. So yeah, fast forward, that whole week I was just having pains, and yeah, I was just going for my normal daily walks that I was doing just around where I live, just going around, getting some exercise, literally doing everything to try and get the baby out, sleeping, resting, going on a ball, bouncing on a stability ball, like everything. So if I miss things out, but yeah, so yeah, my waters broke on a Thursday, and yeah, I also lost my mucus plug. So a mucus plug is the thin lining of a woman's cervix. So that basically releases, and that is also a sign of labor. Not everyone loses a mucus plug. You can lose your mucus plug when you give birth, but yeah, I lost my mucus plug, and I knew baby was coming. So yeah, so lost it, called them, called the hospital, and of course they said, you know, wait until contractions are more intense, which I think is the worst thing ever, because at the end of the day, contractions are very, very painful. And contractions can come slow, but you know, they want you to basically labor at home. So they also call it the latent stage. That word, oh my god, the amount of times I heard that word when I was you know, going to my appointments and stuff like that. So I was in the so-called latent stage, everyone. So yeah, I was in the latent stage for definitely a day. Went to the hospital as my waters broke now, and I also called them as my mucus plug, and they said, yeah, it's fine, nothing to worry about, just obviously put on a pad because you might lose some blood, which I was losing a little bit of blood as well. So yeah, called them. But then when my waters broke, I called them straight away, because you know, when your waters break, it can lead to like infections and stuff like that. So I called them straight away. They said to come down. We went down there, and I just remember the ride to the hospital being horrible. Like, I feel like most hospitals have loads of like, most hospitals are like at the end of a road, or like basically where there's no houses and stuff like that. So there was like so many bumps on the road, and it was just crazy. So yeah, went in now, got checked. They said I was like 2 centimeters dilated, my cervix, so I wasn't there yet. You have to be 10 centimeters to, you know, be able to give birth. So they checked me and stuff like that, and they just said to me, just go home, which I know so many women have heard that, just go home, and it's like the worst thing to say to someone when they're in pain. So yeah, so that's what we done. We went home, and when I went home, I could not sleep. I tried my hardest to sleep. I literally, it was like I closed my eyes and in a second I woke up afterwards. So yeah, so I just said to my partner, we gotta go back, because something didn't feel right. I don't know what it was, but baby was doing a lot inside of me, and it was just affecting a lot of things. So I was getting quite anxious as well, because you know, I've never felt that pain, first baby and stuff like that, so I didn't know what was going on. So we went back now, and they checked me again, and then as they checked me, you know, they realized that my son's heart rate was like going up and down a bit. So they said that I have to stay in, which I was like, hell yes, I have to stay in, because I'm not going home again. You know, I'd rather be you know, in a so-called safe place, but rather be checked on to make sure baby's okay. So yeah, we stayed. They put me into the labor ward. So originally I wanted to give birth in the birthing center, but yeah, went to a labor ward, and I was fine about that. I definitely, you know, throughout my labor I kept it very open, because I know labor is so unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. So yeah, went to the labor ward, and it was wow. I had music on. I made a birth playlist because I knew that I needed to be relaxed. I had dim lights. I was getting checked like 24/7. I can't remember what it's called, but I had the thing around my belly, and yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I couldn't move. I literally had to stay in one position, because again, baby's heart rate kept dropping, and the only way they could check it was if I was in one position. So I was literally on the bed for hours, and I was quite upset about that, because you know, for labor to be active and stuff, you have to be moving. It's important for you to move. So that was just peeing me off. So yeah, so the pain was getting intense, really intense. I was on gas and air for most of it. Like, to be honest with you, when I think about it, I'm like, I'm actually a G, because I was on gas and air till the very last minute, until it was obviously time for me to have my C-section, which I'm going to go into. But yeah, I was doing my breathing techniques. I was just staying focused, you know, because I wanted baby to come out. I wanted him here. So yeah, as I said, 2 days passed. 2 long days passed. Crazy long days. 2 days passed, And yeah, it got to the point where, you know, they had to basically say it would, you know, the only way to get baby out now would be a C-section, because there was no progress happening, and his heart rate was going up and down. So that, for me, that moment when they said that, I'm not gonna lie, I was very calm about it. I know so many other people probably would have broke down, would have got scared, but I just wanted him out. I just wanted him out. And I kind of had myself prepared for a C-section, because I was doing so much like research on just, you know, as I said, you can give birth in so many ways. You can give birth in so many ways. So I kind of knew if it happened, it happened. So yeah, so they said to me I have to have a C-section. You know, it wasn't the plan, but if that was to get our son out and make sure that he's healthy and okay, we're gonna go for it. So my partner was with me in the operating room. I had to basically sign my life away. That was scary, I'm not gonna lie, because I thought to myself, wow, I'm actually like signing my life away. Had to sign my life away. I then had to get the epidural, which I do not remember. Like, I feel like I was so high on gas on air, I just don't remember. My partner, it still traumatizes him to this day because of how the epidural was done. Like, oh, it's just, yeah, it's just crazy. If you want to know, YouTube it. Like, it's mad. But yeah, of how the epidural is done. So yeah, I had the epidural, and epidural makes you numb from your waist down. So yeah, and then I feel like we waited like an hour, or not even an hour, to go into the operating room. As I said, I had my partner there. So yeah, once I got into the operating room, it was bright, it was cold, it was like, wow. I had more anesthesia, I think. I had like this spray that was sprayed on my side, I can't remember, but forgot the guy. There's someone when you have a C-section that's always here, the main person that's basically looking over everything and making sure you're all right and everything's going all right in the operating room. So so yeah, he kept spraying me and asking me, can I feel this, can I feel this? And I was like, I can feel it, I can feel it, this is weird. And then after a few more sprays, I couldn't feel it. So yeah, they began, and as they began, I literally closed my eyes because I wanted to take my focus off me, you know, having a C-section. So I closed my eyes and I was literally deep breathing. I just remember looking up at the top, you know, when you're just laying down and they have the lights. I just remember looking at that and just heavy breathing. A lot of tugging, as in C-sections. It's literally like, you know, they're ripping you open to get the baby out. So a lot of tugging, and yeah, it went really quick. I just heard my son, I heard someone say happy birthday, and I heard him crying. You know, when I saw him, it was so emotional, really emotional. So yeah, don't cry. But yeah, when I saw my son, it was like all worth it, definitely all worth it. So yeah, after that, they put me back together, sewed me back. And that again was quite uncomfortable, but it wasn't too bad. I feel like, as I said, I was just so out of it, I just wanted it to be done. And then yeah, they took me out, they checked on my son, and he was all fine, he was healthy, his eyes was open. My partner said when he came out, his eyes are like boom, blinkers, just like his mummy's. So they took us out, but me and my son then went to the recovery room to recover, just so they can check on me and him, and everything was fine. I was just admiring him, and I remember that as well, being in that recovery room, and I was literally the only person because it was early hours of the morning. So yeah, so that was cool, so yeah, so my C-section, as I said, I would not change it for the world because my son is here, and yeah, that's the main thing, he is here. So I wanted to talk about the recovery. I wanted to talk about the recovery and the healing. So as I said, after I had him, I went to a recovery room, and after that I went into a like hospital room. So I had to stay in hospital for 5 days because they just wanted to check on me and baby, and they thought that baby had a little bit of an infection as well, just because of obviously my water's breaking and being in labor for 2 days. So they wanted to put me and baby on antibiotics, but baby was fine. They just wanted to make sure, which I understand. But it was horrible being in the hospital for 5 days. Like, wow, guys, I've never been in hospital for that long, ever. I don't even think I've ever stayed in hospital for that long. So being in there for 5 days and just having my baby was really painful. My son had a canister in his hand. I also had one. I still have the mark till this day. But yeah, we both had a canister in our hand, and that's how they put the antibiotics in me and him. So that was cool. Not cool, so that was a bit like, why did I say cool? So that was like obviously what they had to do. So yeah, we stayed in the hospital for 5 days. He had antibiotics twice a day, one in the morning, I think, if I can remember, and then one at midnight. I always remember that the midnight one, because I just remember feeling so exhausted, and they came and said we're ready for his injection. So my partner always took him, because at the end of the day I don't trust anyone in the hospital with my child like that. So yeah, so, and obviously for me, recovering from a C-section, I was finding it really hard to move. So straight after I had my C-section, maybe like a few hours afterwards, I was like, I need to get up. I don't know why, I just had this fear in my head that if I don't get up now, I won't be able to get up later. And I'm happy I got up, because it motivated me. Just looking at my son just motivated me. So the first time I got up, and anyone that has ever had a C-section, you know this pain. Yeah, I was like just walking mad. mad. Very painful. Of course, I've just had abdominal surgery, so my body was very stiff, especially my abdomen and my belly. So yeah, I was told by the nurses to just walk, to just, you know, get some blood flow into my legs and stuff like that. So I done that. So what I used to do is just like literally walk from the bed and out, and then just walk down the corridor and back, just to, you know, get some exercise, get some life back into my legs. So yeah, staying at the hospital for 5 days was a lot, and I did have a few days where I was literally just really upset. I feel like the last few days I really just wanted to go home, because it was just getting too much. As I said, I would have rather been in my home than in a hospital. But I am thankful, because I feel like I learned a lot being there, especially breastfeeding wise, and just allowing myself to rest as well, because it was not easy doing things with a baby and still recovering from surgery. So yeah, so with the healing of a C-section, it varies. I don't even want to say that I'm healed because I still to this day get a little bit of pain. It's not like severe pain how it was in the beginning, but to this day I still get a little bit of pain. Yeah, still get a little bit of pain to this day, but I'm better. I still have a like a scar. I feel like with C-sections you always get a scar anyway, so I have a scar just underneath, and yeah, my stitches were invisible, so they dissolved like nicely. So yeah, but I have a few tips that I would have told myself if I knew I was gonna have a C-section, and just tips that can help anyone who is having a C-section, or, you know, just who is interested. As I said, labor can be so unpredictable, so you always just want to be extra prepared just in case. So one of my tips is I would say preparing meals. It doesn't even matter how you give birth, prepare meals, because honestly one thing I felt like after I gave birth, we was eating good, and you know, I had my mother-in-law cook and my partner cook, but I felt like if I had meals prepared beforehand, it would just been easier for us all, because we were all, you know, catering for a newborn who needed all of our attention. So yeah, just preparing meals beforehand and making sure that you're covered for the next few weeks with a newborn baby. So also with a C-section, prepare yourself that you may have to sleep upright for a few weeks. So I slept upright because that was the only comfortable way for me to sleep. So luckily, as I said, I stayed in the hospital for 5 days. So, you know, the hospital has those beds where you can go you can go back and forth. So yeah, I had my bed like kind of halfway up, and yeah, that was the most comfortable way for me to sleep. I also slept with loads of pillows behind me, and then when I came home and I done the exact same thing on my sofa. I'm not gonna lie, it was very stressful having to sleep like that, but it was the only comfortable way. I couldn't lay down because, as I said, having abdominal surgery, it is hella painful, so laying down will just make it worse. So I had to sleep upright. So yeah, prepare yourself for that, but just find a comfortable space as well with loads of pillows. As I said, it's not forever, but it's just something. Another one as well, pillows are very, very helpful for a lot of things. Also, when you're going home, as most people do go home in a car, get a pillow, okay? If you've had a C-section, this might even help with any other birth, vaginal, you know, any other birth. But especially for C-sections, put a pillow behind your back. And you can also put one just at your belly. So yeah, going home for me was so painful. Yeah, my mum actually drove me home, and I just remember going over the bumps and she was like, sorry Shad, sorry, and I was like, oh, it's fine. But the pain that I felt was like, whew, because as I said, like, guys, just coughing, laughing, going over a bump was so painful. So the pillow, and I actually got that recommended by someone, to put a pillow behind your back, and that helped as well, just to make me feel like more comfortable when I was going home. And as I said, the pillows helped afterwards as well. Sleeping, laying down, resting, it just helped. Also, I would say, if you are in the hospital for more than a few days, prepare yourself to get some food. I know most hospitals cater for only women, which I think is wrong, because there are so many like dads at the hospital that stay with the women. Like my partner stayed with us, and he wasn't able to get food. So he had to get food outside, which I feel like is wrong. I feel like, you know, most like cafeterias, they have leftovers, and most of the leftovers, they just go to waste. So yeah, so when I was in the hospital, I got breakfast, lunch and dinner, which was okay. But I also made sure that we brought our own stuff in, because as I said, I wasn't at home, I wasn't used to the food, and I wanted to feel a bit homely, especially being in hospital for 5 days. So like my partner brought in some fruits, some natural teas, just things to make me feel comfortable. So if you are staying for a long amount of time, just get things that will make you feel comfortable. Pillows will help when you're breastfeeding also. For me especially, my breastfeeding pillow really helped when I came home. I didn't bring it to the hospital because I felt like I just forgot I had it, and when I came home I was like, oh, I have a breastfeeding pillow. So what I used to do is put my son on it, lay him on it and feed him, and that also was quite comfortable for me, because with obviously having my C-section, I found it really awkward to hold him, especially while breastfeeding. It's like I couldn't hold him on my belly, but I used to hold him like this, and because he was so small, he just used to fit right here. So having the pillow was just aided more like comfort for me as well. So pain pain and medication. I'm gonna say this: take what you need to take to make you feel better. I am not a fan of medication and taking loads of stuff. That's just how I am. But I had to take stuff, and I did have a moment. I was like, yeah, I'm all right. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I think I didn't take paracetamol that whole day, and then later on, I felt it. Like, oh, I felt the pain. So yeah, so I was taking ibuprofen or paracetamol, mainly paracetamol I took because that's the main things they said, to just ease the pain. And I took that twice a day while just eating healthily, staying hydrated, and just with resting, a C-section, you know? As well, most people get an injection, so you have to inject for 10 days. So I had the injection done for me in hospital, in my belly, or you can do it on your leg. I chose to do it in my belly. And yeah, just thinking about it's giving me chills. But it was fine. I'm not like afraid of needles like that anyways. I'm just like, get over and done with. As long as I don't look at it, I don't care. So yeah, so I had it done in the hospital, and then they actually gave me the injections to carry on when I got home, and a needle dispenser. So my partner done it for me. And yeah, because I couldn't do it. I was literally, I remember I think when we came back home the first night, I tried to do it and I could not press it down. I was like, why am I panicking? It's just, you know, when you do something for yourself, it's harder to do than if someone else does it for you. So yeah, with a C-section, you may have to get injections. So the injections stop you from having blood clots, which is, you know, very important because blood clots are so dangerous for you. So yeah, they stop you from having blood clots. So my main important things that I'm gonna say is ask for help. As I said, a C-section, the recovery is much longer, and yeah, it's longer, you know. I'm not even gonna say harder, but it's a lot. It is different. Me personally, I've never been through that pain in life, so having it was like a shock to the system, and it definitely made me feel like I couldn't do much for a while. But as I said, with rest, really helped, and just not stressing too much. It was of course hard because I felt like I couldn't do much things, but when I slowly got my mobility back, I felt so much better, because like I forgot to do simple things like bending or, you know, certain little things. And I also found it hard because I couldn't pick up my son in a certain ways because it was just so uncomfortable. So yeah, ask for help if you need help. If you have family around, like, you know, just ask for as much help. Family and friends around, ask for as much help as you can, because it will just make you feel 100% better. And of course, my last thing that I'm gonna say is rest. Okay, literally, I know when they say when baby sleeps, you must sleep, and I do believe in that to a certain extent. Have moments when you sleep, even if you sleep for a while, especially when they're newborns, all they do is sleep. So try and get as much rest as you can. Try not stress out about the housework. Try not stress about what you're gonna eat. Just rest, because it will make you feel better, and you will heal better as well. I think it took me about 9 weeks to feel better, to be able to move better, because as I said, I was struggling a lot. But yeah, around 9 weeks, that's when I started feeling better. That's when I was even able to lay down as well. And I was really happy about that because I was able to breastfeed my son laying down, so that was more comfortable too. So yeah, rest and it will get better. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. It was a long one because I feel like, especially talking about this, you have to get in depth with some things, and making a short video, it would it wouldn't make sense. So I hope I made sense, you know, just discussing my experience with a C-section. And as I said, I hope it helps anyone, someone, mothers to be, anyone, to be honest with you. But yeah, just know that you're amazing, and C-section mamas, we are literally badass. Literally. So yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Peace.